Welcome to episode 370 of the show, where today we'll be wrapping up this series and we'll be looking at the relationship between photography, photo imaging, graphic designs, and sales. How do these things relate and how do each of them inform each other? Now, obviously, the photography, photo imaging, graphic design, and all that jazz, all that is important because the visual aspect is important to coming up with a compelling storyline. Let me just put it that way. Okay, it helps to convey a compelling story. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. And it also makes something to appear more appealing and more alluring. And that is something that we're used to in this industry because we have our glossy, really highly stylized images that portray high-end wedding photography, wedding planning services, or whatever business it is that you are involved in. So we use the images to convey those kinds of impressions, to convey impressions of love, sophistication, what else? Class, all sorts of things, assuming that you're one of those people who wants to appeal to folks on a much more high-end spectrum. So the reason why this is important is because you can use words to convey these things as well, but sometimes an image just gets you there quicker. And of course, in today's day and age where there's a lot of stimulus online, there are lots of things that are jostling for the eyeballs of our brides and grooms. Whatever it is that can pass across the message in a shorter fashion, the better. And so that's the reason why photography, photo imaging, graphic design, and all these things are important when it comes to beefing your marketing and trying to grow your sales. Now, the second question, do you need these skills in today's business environment? Well, in a sense, yes, you need these skills, especially since most platforms that we have nowadays are either photo or video driven. Just as a side note, we have some audio platforms that are, in the background, podcasting, like me using the Anchor app, and then Clubhouse, what else? And I think Twitter Spaces is an audio thing. But largely, most of what we have online now is photo or video driven. So it would be nice to have these sorts of skills, but you don't have to acquire these skills personally. So I'm one of those who believes that you don't have to attend a business seminar on photography, videography, Canva, design, stuff like that, because these are things that you can outsource easily. I think that if you're going to spend time acquiring skills, that there are other skills that you can acquire much more profitably. I think you just need to be able to be clear on what it is that you want to communicate so that you can communicate with the professional that you hire to do all the design work for you. So it's a necessary skill, but you don't have to acquire this skill personally because you can outsource. And then, of course, the major question that we asked, as we did yesterday and the day before, if all these things work, photography, photo design, graphic design, and all these things, if they work, then why should we bother with having a sales function in our business or having someone with sales expertise? Now, the reason is because sales is necessary to get the conversion results from all these things that you're doing. So I'm going to repeat it again, even though I know that we've said it day 1, day 2, and then today, day 3. All these things that we're doing, in this case, the photo designs, the graphics and everything, is intended to get people to notice us, to put up their hands to show that they're interested. But it's only when you have sales skills, a sales framework, or someone who has a keen interest in these sorts of things, that someone is going to be able to move the conversation along from when someone raises their hand to where you actually close the deal and they make the deposit. The example that I gave is when people put out these what are they called? You put out copy that says if you're an Abuja-based bride getting married in between November or October 2022, call for 20% discount. And then somebody calls up and they say, "Oh, I saw your ad. I saw your ad on Instagram. That's the reason why I'm calling." And then because you don't have a sales framework in play, or a sales script, or a sales plan, that you already thought out ahead of time, you start fumbling and or you pause, you're taken aback because you didn't have anything prepared to say per se. You just simply put it out there, and for some reason, we expect that once you put these things out, the money will start rolling in. So, getting people to signify interest is one thing, catching people's attention is one thing, but then sorting through people, the serious from unserious, and then getting people to actually pay is another thing entirely. And so, we need the sales skills, we need somebody on our team. It doesn't have to be you, because there's some people who believe that sales is tacky. They don't want to get personally involved, and so they get someone else, a business partner, or an associate, someone that they pay. But we definitely need the sales function on our team to move the needle, to get all the results. And in fact, I think that is a better place to spend your time rather than taking classes that are going to teach you graphic designs. Take classes that are going to teach you about sales, because you can outsource graphic design easily, and yes, you can also outsource sales, but it's better for you to have a proper understanding about sales, so that in the future, when you're outsourcing the sales and you're teaching your sales boys or sales girls, in quote, as we like to call them in these parts of the world, when you're training up your associates, you're going to have a very keen understanding of how things work, how the sales game works, who your ideal customer profile is, how they like to be interacted with, how you're going to resolve customer service issues. It's really good for you as the business owner, or as the chief photographer, or as the chief event planner, or whatever role it is that you have in your business, the chief baker, or whatever it is. It's very important that you have a thorough knowledge of all these things, because if you let the ball slip on lots of other stuff, you can recover easily. If you let the ball slip on photography and graphic design, you can recover easily. Just go and get someone else. If you let the ball slip when it comes to sales, it's going to cause you a whole lot of problems. Because first of all, if you're slipping in sales because it's your employees that are behind and they're not up to speed, then the only way to move forward would be to fire them and then bring someone else in. And of course, that's a lot of time and money spent on your own end. So rather than take all the time to learn about graphic design, I really think you should be learning about sales. Now, the final question: how can sales improve your graphic design? And that's easy. If you've been listening for the last 2 days, I'm sure you already know the answer. All the customer intel that you're going to get, all the data that you're going to get, you are going to get from sales interactions. All the people like me who like picking up the phone to speak to the customer, who are the one who knows their likes and dislikes, what's moving, what's not moving, what's compelling, what's not compelling, what their problems are, what they are aspiring to, is actually people like us who meet the customers at home, or who speak to them over the phone, or interact with them when they come over to the office or to the studio. We are the ones who actually have the keen data that you need. So, if you're a wedding planner and you have someone like me on your team who has all the intel, then you're going to get all the knowledge that you need to craft a compelling marketing campaign, and to craft compelling design work. So if you're doing design work and you want it to be sophisticated, but then you have someone on the team like me who has been interacting with most of the customers, I'm the one who's going to be able to say, well, actually, from the people that we've been talking to, I don't think these colors will work, or I don't think these images will work, because the people are actually like this, like this, like this, and like that. So perhaps we should try this, and we should try this, and we should try that. And actually, in other climes, in Western economies, this is one area where some businesses lose the plot, because you have marketing people sitting in one cubicle designing all the stuff, but then nobody is talking to the salespeople who actually interact with the customers on ground and who have all the intel that you need. And marketing people end up making mistakes. You send out marketing material that does not resonate with the customer, that totally misses the mark. All this can be totally solved just by speaking with people who actually have the relationship with the customer. And so that is how sales is going to improve your graphic design. Because if you're out there talking to people, you're on the streets, you have that one-on-one, those relationships, you don't have to guess at what a compelling image will be or what will resonate, because you already know. You have the relationship with the client, and you have all the feedback and information that you need. And so, with that, we will come to the end of this series. But the podcast still continues tomorrow. Not sure what the next topic is going to be. I'll have to look at my list of questions. And so that's it. Today we bring this story arc to a close. So thank you very much for listening to today's episode. I'm your host, Abuja-based sales consultant and event media professional, Tavishima Ayede. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next recording.